What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of BS for Building. Today's episode, we're going to be playing around with the interior. We're going to try for the first ever heated Sparco seat GTR interior conversion. We're going from gray to black. That's the game plan. Stay tuned. All right, no ads or anything, so I guess we can get on down to work. But stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. If you're missing the ads, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering what the next best deal on BS for Build is. I apologize about all the ads that we've been having lately. The next build cost $1 bajillion, and so gotta make that money. I do want to point out that the normal order of operations, I'd be focused on that quarter panel and that rear subframe, swapping out the subframe, getting the alignment straightened out, and then working on that rear quarter panel in any other circumstance. But although I did order a lot of the parts for this car way ahead of time, those parts still aren't here. So that's why we're not working on kind of repairing the crash damage, the main important stuff, and we're playing around with fun stuff. But sometimes, just to help yourself stay motivated, stay on the track of just building, it's cool to take a break for a little bit, stop sanding, let your shoulder heal up, and just goof off with some interior stuff. So let's jump into it. Our goal for today is to take this Sparco R333 seat, convert it to be able to sit in this car with either sliders or electronic forward and backwards motion, and keep the heated seat element from the Nissan GTR. Reason being, I don't like the gray interior, so I'd like it all to be black. That's why we also have black interior pieces back here for the back seat, and this one's blown up. So, given those facts, I think that switching over to the R333 seats is the cheapest way to make this situation black, look better, and fix the explosion part. A lot of other ways have been mentioned, but they don't really fix those problems. Plus, I've heard these seats are not comfortable. So that's been one of people's GTR owners' comments. Biggest comment is that the seats are not very comfortable at all. So here we go. First thing I'm going to need to do is take the base seat out of here so I can dissect it, figure out what we have to work with, figure out where the heating element is, see if we can pull it out, blah, blah, blah. So we got to take the seat out. Seats out. I just want to point out that Nissan is not making this easy on us. Most cars have a level playing field between the left and the right side of the seat mounting position, but Nissan, it's got the left side down here and the right side's like 1.5 inches, 2 inches higher. So that'll be fun. Now we got to figure out what we're dealing with underneath here. So let's go get this thing on your guys' favorite workbench, the stool, and rip into it. All right, we have a deconstructed seat at this point. Luckily, everything's pretty straightforward, but you know, the biggest hang up is obviously that we have an uneven mounting surface. The car is uneven, and then this thing is uneven to adjust for that. So with it all being uneven and crazy, I really want to try and utilize the mounting points that this seat rail kind of comes with after I test fit it and make sure that it starts us off at a level playing field. If that's the case, then what I think we should do is ditch a lot of these motors. So the Sparco seat has a flat bottom, and it's the width of the seat, so it won't fit inside here. This is where the previous seat bolted in, the bottom of the seat bolted in. It won't fit inside these shoulders right here. So all this stuff's gonna have to go. This stuff is the front. This is the motor that adjusts the front tilt. This is the motor that adjusts the rear tilt. But our motor that does front slide like front to back looks like it will clear. So that's the next step, is I'm gonna dive into this thing and try and get us a steady base to build upon. All right, well, here's what's left of the giant big square contraption bracket setup that was holding all the wires. Just gonna pretty much use this and the feet from this. Reason being that because it's uneven, not a lot of the stuff can really be transferred over without building a really massive spacer to hold the seat, and that would look really ugly if you had, say, like a 3-inch spacer sticking up right here. It would just get to looking strange. So what we're gonna do instead is use manual sliders instead, which I'm kind of a fan of, because even if your car battery is, say, like dead, or you lose your keys or whatever, you can still then slide your seat forward and take the front bolts out, slide your seat backwards and take the rear bolts out, etc., etc. Well, Probably do that in reverse if you actually want to get your seat out. But anyways, manual seat sliders can be pretty cool. So that's what we're going to use. Now, I'm confident in my fabrication skills and being able to adapt these to what we have inside the car. So it's time to take a pause on that, and now we're gonna jump into the seat cushions and look at the heating elements for the seat cushions. We need to make sure that we can pull those out, harvest them, and transplant them into the Sparco before we finish placing the Sparco seat in the car. The lower heating element is out. This is what it is that makes up a heated seat in a GTR. So that's what we're gonna wanna place in our Sparco on the bottom. And this is kind of what's left of it. So it's just a series of pulling a lot of these rings off and stuff like that to get this gross fabric off of that seat. So now I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the back and do the same thing, get this out. Back one came out a little bit quicker. Now it is the moment of truth. It's time to go drag that Sparco seat over here, brand new Sparco R333, and tear into it in a way that we can untear into it later. Got the lower seat cushion out of the seat, so you can see that's what's left of the seat. It came out really nice and pretty smooth, and I should be able to reinstall it. So everything was good until I ran into this point here. So the Sparco's seat construction is not exactly, like, these are, you know, what I would classify as a budget pair of Sparcos. And what they did is they use these little ring hoops just straight into the foam here. So if you pull too hard on them, they're gonna rip out. And you can't uninstall these and then reinstall them. I don't have like some sort of weird ring gun where I can come get a grip of foam and blast it in there. So that is indeed a bummer, but I can connect these to themselves. A lot of these have came out already, which is kind of crazy. I'm kind of surprised they do this way. Normally they would install a rod. Anyways, I could connect these to themselves, and then that will tighten this thing down and do its job. So I think that's what we're gonna do after we uninstall it. But yeah, so this is what it looks like. It's got a seam right here, and then it's connected right here. I'm gonna go ahead and uninstall both sides, flop it over, snake my heating pad, that guy, in through here, and then use that seam, and then in through here and around, and then we'll run the wiring needs to come out the back here, not the front, the back. All right, we're making it happen. I'm stoked on this. So what I learned is they're using a little bit of spray adhesive on the side to help keep that thing in place where the little loops might have failed on the foam. We laid our heating pad in here. So this is the front piece of the seat. Legs are gonna go down here and here. And then when I fold this back over, you can see this is the back piece. And what I did was I laid all the heating elements. This would have normally been kind of for that back piece. This would have been for the front. I laid all the heating elements out in the front. The reason being is I kind of slouch in my seats, and this part of the seat that sits right in this back pocket right here isn't gonna get a lot of use. So I'll actually have a warmer seat if I do it this way. So we did that. The wires are running out the back here. You can kind of see them dangling down there. And I use spray adhesive on the back of all this, so it's not gonna move around on me at all. It's all sprayed down. I'm using this stuff is like really good for fabric work and stuff like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fold this thing back down, spray adhesive the sides again, just like how Sparco had it, and then we'll attach it to itself, button it back up, and that will be the first bottom pad done. It's actually working. Bottom cushion done, slam dunk. Now you may be asking, zip ties, really? But I think that's a great use for zip ties. Now those are gonna be there, and then that banding is gonna be like covering them up, and You know, if anybody's like, I know there's zip ties underneath your chair, I'll be like, thanks for watching the channel. And that's the end of that story. So that's awesome. Now we're gonna try and slip our backing piece into our back. See if we can get that to be a flawless victory. Button this thing back up and we'll have a seat with a heater. If you looked at it, you would never know. We've completely swapped out all the heating elements from a Nissan GTR stock seat into my Sparco R333 seat, bottom and back. And we didn't destroy the seat. On to the next seat. Now that we know what we're doing, let's see how fast we can get this done. All right, we've harvested the parts from the passenger seat. We got the switches, we got the wiring, and we got the heating elements, and we got one more thing, a pressure sensor pad. So what this does is this works with the airbag system, and once it senses pressure in the passenger seat, it arms the passenger side airbag. That's something that all new cars have to kind of have. And it also bugs you about the seatbelt. So the normal way to reinstall this would be just like what we did with our bottom cushion heating pad. We just install this flat on the bottom cushion. But I'm actually not gonna do that. And I'm not gonna do that to save myself a lot of annoyance. See, in my daily driver cars, here's what happens every time I get in them. I jump in the driver's side, and on the passenger side, I throw my camera bag, that big heavy bag right there, and normally a couple other things that I'm gonna take to the shop. That pressure sensor pad right there reads, thinking there's a very small human in the passenger seat, and it starts bugging me about buckling the seatbelt, etc., of that thing. Every time I get in the car, every time I go for a drive. It happens in the FJ every time I go for a drive. So what I'm gonna do is I'm basically going to make it a lot easier on myself every day and a little bit harder when I have a passenger that wants an airbag. I'm just going to simply place this underneath it needs to be plugged in for the airbag system to work, period. So we're gonna definitely plug it in. It's got a really, really long cable, and I'm just gonna really simply just place it under the seat. And then if, say, Chelsea and I are going for a road trip, we'll just have her pull it out from underneath the seat, set it on the cushion of her seat, and then when she sits down, the passenger airbag system will be armed and activated. So it's adding an extra step for my passengers if they want an airbag, but the reality of it is I very, very rarely drive with another person, and I want to make it a little, like, a step less annoying for me with my baggage and stuff like that. So we're not going to install it into the cushion. It's just going to be a manual installation when you want an airbag for the passenger. Okay, so now that we got everything ready, we're going to go ahead and grab our other Sparco R333 seat, rip it open, and install the heating elements. Passenger side seat didn't take very long at all once I knew how to do it. Probably, I don't know, hour and a half. Next thing we got to do is figure out the electronics. So it's pretty simple. There's a switch that we're going to need. All these things kind of come together, and looks like there might be a relay and some other stuff like that. We're going to get all that stuff that we need, bring it over here, tidy it up, and get it ready to be able to plug into the car as one unit. That is the passenger seat wiring all bundled underneath, loom thinned out, and it is plugged in. Now, logic would say turn the car on and test the heating system, but it'd be so much more glorious if it works both of them at the same time. So I'm gonna finish wiring the driver's side, and then we'll give these guys a test. All right, driver's side seat is in. It's the moment of truth. Let's turn the car on and figure this thing out. Well, that's a good sign right there. Our rocker switch is working. Let's put that one on high. Come over to the passenger seat, hit this one on high, lit up as well. Now we wait for signs of heat. That is so cool. It totally works. My hand is warm. You can feel warmth coming through the seat. That is so awesome. Let's go check the other one. Bottom, oh yeah. And the back. Yep. Nice. Oh my God. We built heated Sparco seats that just work with the GTR, and you have these nice little toggles and stuff. I'm gonna have to build a little housing or something, you know, on along the side on the bottom railing, but I think that should be done last after we mount the seats so we can kind of find the positioning. But we did it! Heated Sparco seats in the GTR. All right, well, I would like to be able to call this an interior swap in the title. So we got to make those back seats black rather than gray. So we'll pull those out and put our new to us but used just OEM black GTR seats in there. We did it! That looks really good. I'm really happy with the choices that we made here on this interior. It's so much better than that gray and all the other stuff. So still left to build is seat rails. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the manual sliders, and we're gonna kind of merge those in with the bracketry that they already kind of had to fit up right there. I will do that first thing in the next episode, and we'll bust that out. And in the next episode, quarter panel parts are coming. I want to show you guys one more thing. Travis from Canyon Sports Wraps, who wrapped the Z, made us this awesome fridge. Well, he's out here working. He saw that, you know, we didn't have a fridge out here, and he got us a Christmas present. So there's the Z. That picture is the one that Kaisel Salim took, and it's a beautiful picture. It's my phone's background, actually. It looks so good. And Travis printed that on vinyl and put that there. Put the B is for beer on the front, and then on the other side, you actually have the back of the car as well. It's so cool. So huge thanks to Travis for doing that, man. I can't wait to collab again. And remember, boys, if you need a wrap and you're in the Pacific Northwest, check out his website. I'll put a link in the description. All right, guys, that is a wrap on this one. We did it. We got heated Sparco seats. If you like the kind of stuff that we're doing here, if you like this build, hit the subscribe button, guys. This is the stuff I always do. I plan on continuing to do it. If you enjoy seeing people rip up OEM seats to try and make a pair of Sparco seats a little bit warmer, but that much cooler, that's B is for build for you. So hit the subscribe button, guys. We're getting close to another milestone. Thank you guys all so much for the support already. That's about it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!